Right when I start filming, a construction just like starts randomly. So hi everyone, my name is Julia and welcome to my channel. I haven't filmed in a while. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of intro if you're new here. Hi, I'm Julia and I'm a knitter, and I have been making YouTube videos just since last year. Is it last year or back in 2021? Yeah, I think back in 2021. So I've been knitting for almost 2 years now, and right now is the second podcast ever in this channel. So yeah, I have actually my notes here because like for some reason I forgot how to talk to a camera um because I haven't filmed in a while. Maybe I'm just gonna tell you about like what I'm gonna talk about in this podcast, in this video. So we're gonna cover some some stuff from like last year, my knitting plans for this year. So yeah, I was initially planning to do like what I knitted in 2022, but the holidays was just so chaotic. Like I think from September up to December it was just pure chaos, and I really didn't have the time to film anything. Like I've knitted quite a lot of stuff, but I wasn't able to like sit down properly and then talk about the things that I've knitted. So yeah, I'm gonna do that now. For the first part of this video, I'm just gonna show you some of the stuff that I've knitted back in 2022. I wouldn't show them all because most of them I put them up for sale so that they wouldn't get like just stuck here in my knitting shelf over there. I usually do one-off knits, so yeah, put them up in the shop last year. I still have some left, and if you want to check some of them out, they're up on my website, or you can message me on Instagram. But yeah, let's get this started. So my knits that are currently with me are here in this box. So yeah, this is the magnetic box that I use for the items for my shop, and they are currently in here. So I'm just gonna show you like how it looks like. The items that are left in the shop are here, and I have a few. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you this first. So first, this is the natural side tie top. If you look at it closely, so yeah, this one, I think it looks better on this. So yeah, this one is made of 100% cotton, and I got the yarn from my local yarn shop. And this is actually an open side tie top if you would look at it. So yeah, like it's meant to be for like kind of like a mesh top, more likely designed for like a cover top. Like let's say you're wearing a swimsuit or you're wearing something else underneath. So this is a really nice top and very breathable because it is cotton. Not really like a favorite of mine, but it's cool. I just find that the cotton that I use here is kind of like really drapey and heavy for some reason. I don't know exactly like what type of cotton this is. All I know is just it's just 100% cotton. But yeah, if you want this, I put this up as a sample sale at my shop. So yeah, you can check it out. And then the next one is this mohair arm warmers, hand warmers, not arm warmers, hand warmers. So I made this I think back in I actually forgot, November, October, and they look so nice. Like look at this. And yeah, they're really warm because they're mohair. I think for the weather here in the Philippines, this is just more for like an aesthetic purpose. And yeah, because it can get really warm. Yeah, but I like it. I used this with Drops Kid Silk Mohair, and then Baby Alpaca, and then I think this is Drops Flora, and this is just like some leftover synthetic mohair that I had since like the beginning of the year last year. I also did make a matching top with it, so here you go. So this is like a stripe mohair distressed halter top. So yeah, I hope you see it clearly. And I just put like an I-cord tie that you can pull, no, that you can tie around your neck, but you can also turn this into a tube top, because this is like you can remove it, so you can wear it however you want. This one is more of just like an experimental knit. I really don't intentionally make items specifically for the shop, so most of this are just like my knits are more like experimental knits, and then when they get like really piled up, I sort of just like sell them in my shop. So yeah, and then I got some mohair. Okay, going back. Another one that I have is another mohair piece. So this is the gravel rib top. So this is made from Drops Nord and Drops Flora. So this is a sleeveless top. So yeah, this can be also really warm since this is made of alpaca with a mix of alpaca and wool. That's just it. And then last but not the least is just like one of my favorites. So this is the Around the World Shrug. It looks really weird at this. If you look at it, like it's just like a long piece of fabric, but you can see the color is just so gorgeous. This is made from, this one is the boucle part, and then this one is the Anamika silk, and then some Balinese cotton. This is actually kind of warm but still breathable, so this is best worn with like sleeveless tops. And yeah, you can actually see all the stuff that I do in my on my Instagram and on TikTok, some of it. And then last but not the least is also one of my favorites, which is the mossy moldy sweater top. I forgot the name that I gave it, but this one I don't sell this. So this is also an experimental top. As you can see, this is like a crop sweater, like a mega crop sweater. This is made from 100% cotton together with some of the leftover mohair, because I just have like a lot of leftover mohair for some reason, because I think I've got a bunch of them early in the year last year. I think I'm gonna insert some pictures here if you want to check this out. And I love this color, like the cotton. I got the yarn from Hiraya Crafts, which is a local store here. And yeah, they were having a sale last year, I think during the holidays. And I just use like one cake of these. I forgot the color name, but yeah, just one cake of this specific color, and it really amazes me how it is like really bright. But I'm still gonna have to check this out, check the color out when I block it, because sometimes when you wash cotton yarns, like they tend to fade a bit. So that's it for my 2022 knits. I'm just gonna place my link down below with my Instagram and the website so that you can check the others out. 2022 was a year of a lot of experimentation when it comes to like yarn fibers. Like I've tried cotton, mohair, wool, a lot of other stuff. That's it for my 2022 knits. And the next one is some of my knitting goals for this year. I currently don't have like any concrete knitting goals, but um, generally I think I would just have I want to knit more intentionally because last year I knitted actually a lot of garments. And for me, knitting can sometimes be like a stress reliever, like therapy. And sometimes when I'm really like overwhelmed or stressed, I tend to like put it out like with my knitting. Like I knit a lot of stuff. I cast on a lot of stuff. I don't know if like it's the same with you or like with any other hobby too. I think it can be like that. And yeah, I just did it a lot. But this year I want to actually knit less but knit more intentionally. Last year and I think with the past year I've just like knitted a lot of tops and like because what I usually do is like I knit tops or like cardigans and stuff and then I sell them and then that's it. But right now I want to knit more stuff that I can actually use myself. Less sweaters, I think, because like to be honest, like the weather here is like 99% of the time it's just like hot and humid. And I cannot wear sweaters all the time. Moving more to different pieces of clothing, not necessarily tops, but I want to explore more on different types like for example like more accessories. I'm so into this like knitted headbands for some reason. Like, I saw them on like some of the knitters I follow and they just look so good and they're easy and fast to make, but they add a lot more to your outfit. And I'm currently working on one, so I'm gonna show you. This is one of the um headbands that I am working on. So this is a mohair, like a mohair, thick mohair headband. I don't want to put it on my hair. I don't want to try it on because sometimes the mohair can actually like stick to your hair. So because it peels a lot, like look. And yeah, this is currently a whip. This was just fast to make. I did this in double stockinette stitch and I joined them together. So as you can see, it looks like that. And then I added some duplicate stitches of like some basic flower pattern. I want to make more of these. So if I go crazy, um, yeah, maybe I'll just also like put them up in the shop or put some of these, make a couple of these and then put them up in the shop. I want to knit more accessories. Also, I want to try to knit socks. Like it looks so intimidating. Like I haven't knitted a sock ever. It just looks so complicated. Like I been watching like how to knit socks like last year and it looks so overwhelming. Like when they make the heel or when they use like double pointed needles, because personally I haven't used like double pointed needles. I just used circular ones. That in itself is overwhelming for me, but I want to try it. And I think it will be something that I can actually use. Like yeah, I mean they're socks. They're basic. They're basic garments that you can use. If you have like any suggestions for like basic sock patterns, then let me know. So want to make more headbands, more new stuff like socks, and maybe some knitted bows. I like the look of them. I'm not like super fan of like the knitted bows, but they look so nice and they add a lot more in an outfit. I think that's it. Like knitting, for my knitting goals, I think it's more on setting intentions. Knitting itself is kind of like a slow hobby, and it's meant to be done mindfully, in my own opinion. I know people do speed knitting and stuff, but for me, I just want knitting to be like a slow hobby for me. So yeah, I want to be more intentional with what I make, and not just like produce like more clothes and more garments without thinking about it. Another one with falls under my knitting goals is to keep a knitting journal. I also would want to record like what I make, because I actually have like a knitting notebook, because usually I don't follow any pattern. Like 90% of the time I freehand my knits. So this is how it looks like. Like it's super like messy. Like this notebook is just like crazy, because sometimes, let's say I am making a pattern, and then I'm making, let's say, a swatch, and then I would want to like, I needed to write down the number of cast-ons. Then I just flip on like a random page. I just flip on a random page and then I write on it, and then like just roughly put the measurements and all that stuff. It's basically like also roughly writing a pattern, even though I am doing freehand knitting. Yeah, I want to keep a proper journal so that I can also recreate some pieces and then look back on the stuff that I made, and then just like see overall what have I made so far, what are other improvements that I can do. Another one that I would like to do more this year is to improve my skills more and to learn new techniques. Currently, I've just been like doing stockinette. To be honest, it's just like, it's still my favorite stitch. It's so simple, but you can just like do a lot with it, and it's a stitch that you can do mindlessly. But I would also like to try and challenge myself more with different stitches or different knitting techniques. Like, for example, I've been wanting to do like the Norwegian knitting and other types of stitches, like let's say double knitting or lace knitting. I actually tried lace knitting last year, but I abandoned it. I was supposed to like make a top out of like my recycled yarn, but for some reason I just abandoned it, and it's now the bottom of my knitting stash, and RIP to that. But I would like to try more. I would like to explore more on different yarns too, from different brands. I've tried mohair and alpaca for the first time. I love the mix of it. Like, look at this. It's gorgeous. It gives like this halo effect. Though I would probably need to cut or like shave this a bit, because to be honest, like it peels a lot and sometimes it can get like in random places. But yeah, would want to improve more on my skills, learn new techniques, new types of knitting. I am a continental knitter. I've done English knitting style for a bit, and then I switched to continental because it's much faster. But there's just like a whole range of different types and techniques on how to knit, so I wanted to try those. And another one is to learn different cast-ons. So I have just recently learned how to do tubular or Italian cast-on. I know how to do in an Italian bind off. At first that was kind of hard, but the tubular cast on was just like on a whole nother level. I was making the Crewneck Headband by Spektakelstrik, and it took me I think like 5 times just to do the tubular cast on, and it was just like so confusing and challenging, but overall it's like it's very rewarding when you're like getting challenged and you finally get through it. So yeah, plus it improves your skills a lot. So yeah, learn more different types of cast-ons, just so I can also incorporate it with my freehand knits. So yeah, I'm just like imagining like this year to like put a lot of different skills and techniques on my like tool belt, like, you know, yeah, you get it. I mean, just like to have a variety of things that I can do and different techniques. So yeah, I really want to try double knitting. Like that really intrigues me. I watched a couple of videos on it, but I still haven't like actually tried it because I see people doing it with together with Intarsha, and wow, it's amazing how it looks. It looks reversible. That's just like on a whole nother level. So yeah, I want to try that. Definitely want to try that. And yeah, I think that's it for like my knitting goals, like in terms of skills, improving skills and different techniques. Another one I think that I want to do more this year is actually, even though 90% of the time I do freehand knits, I want to try more patterns. So I actually bought a couple of patterns last year from Spektakelstrik. So I got the Hitchhiker beanie and then the like sweater jumper. I forgot the name. I have those patterns and they're just like on currently in line for me to make. I want to make the Hitchhiker beanie with the Malabrigarius yarn, which is this one specifically. Like, it's so gorgeous. Like, look at that. Like that blue is just wow, it's amazing. It's like sort of this like electric blue. So yeah, I want to make a beanie with this. Initially I got like I think 3 of this and then 3 of the apple green of the Malabrigarias. I was supposed to make like a sweater, but then I'm like, will I be able to actually wear a sweater? I rarely wear sweaters, so I'm like, maybe a beanie. Yeah, that's most likely it. So yeah, and I also want to make a beanie for my boyfriend, because he lives in somewhere where you actually have a winter, and yeah, that's something that he can use. Definitely gonna make that in like the first quarter of the year. And then the like jumper, I have a lot of mohair with me, so I still have a lot on my stash. Like because I made this like really big purchase last year from Wool Warehouse, and I just like went crazy with it. Like I just like, oh, I want to try mohair, want to try like wool, and I just like put everything in my cart. And right now I'm not even halfway through that stash. I'll probably make the leg jumper. Is it like I forgot. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm planning to make it with the mohair that I have together with the brush alpaca, because I have this mohair with lovely lavender color, and I think it would be nice to make a sweater out of this because first, it's mohair. It will be very light to bring, and I personally am not a fan of like really chunky, heavy sweaters like before. I am like, I think they look cool, but they're just like really bulky and heavy when you wash it. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards making lighter garments. So yeah, gonna try that with the mohair that I have. So far, that's just for the patterns that I can think of and that I've bought. Um, I want to try more, but mostly like I just lean towards patterns by Boring Knit or Spektakelstrik because they're just like so simple and easy. Um, I am not like that into like really intricate knitting patterns. I don't know, but I want to try the PetiteKnit Ingrid sweater, which is really famous, and then the Terrazzo sweater, um, which uses the Noro Kakigori. Is it Noro Kakigori yarn? I've seen a lot of knitters make those before last year. I don't know, maybe like this year I'm just gonna make like two, three sweaters. I'm not gonna make like a lot because it's not just really practical with this weather, and I'm not like, I don't know, maybe if like I travel to somewhere with like winter, really cold weather, then yeah, I'll be able to use it. But right now, currently, I'll be minimizing like knitting sweaters and knitting cardigans. So yeah, the mohair is just like flying all over. Like one of my goals is to finish my stash right now, like zero stash, like finish all of it. I don't have that much of scrap yarn, of leftover yarn, but I have a lot of like yarns still with me, like a lot of skeins from local purchases, and the one that I said that I got from Wool Warehouse last year, like where I just like went crazy, super crazy with yarn. And yeah, no yarn buy for me until I finish all of it. I'm not sure, but I hope I can do it, because just like when I see like yarns online, like let's say I go to a warehouse, I just want to like buy a lot of it, but then I have to remind myself again that I have a lot of yarn still in my stash and that I have to use all of it before I buy anything else. So yeah, one of my New Year's knitting resolutions is to not get too excited with things and to actually like sit on the stuff that I want to buy. Like let's say I want to, oh, I've been wanting to buy like Noro yarns because they look so beautiful, but then I honestly have to like remind myself that I still have a lot of like wool yarns with me, other wool yarn with me, and that I still have to use it before I buy anything else. So yeah, I think it just also falls under intentional knitting or intentional purchase decisions. And I also want to actually have a designated project before I buy the yarns that I want to buy. Because before I had this, like, especially when I started knitting, I had this kind of like bad habit where I just like go crazy when I see beautiful yarn. So have to avoid that because that actually is counterproductive to slow fashion. I think that's it for my knitting goals and the patterns that I want to make. And if you have like any pattern suggestion, let me know, because I'm also looking for some, because I just really lean more to Spektakelstrik and then Boring Knit. So yeah, I think that's it for this podcast. I'm sorry if this is just like so rambly and so all over the place. I have a meeting in like 9 minutes. So I'm gonna end this now. So I hope you guys are having a great new year so far. Yeah, happy knitting, and I hope you have like more creative energy for this year. Do the stuff that you actually want to do. So I am gonna end this now for real, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.